Hey worship leader, today we're going to be talking about the chorus effect. Now chorus is one of those effects that adds something special to your sound and to your tone. And I've actually been getting a lot of questions recently about how to develop a worship sound, and I would include chorus as an ingredient that you need for the new worship sound. Now I say new because chorus is one of those sounds that I didn't like for the longest time, but in the past few years I've been hearing it on some albums and I'm like, hey, that doesn't sound so bad. And so I'm actually going to be making some videos soon about how to develop a worship tone or a worship sound, but today we're going to be focusing on chorus, so let's dig in. All right, we're all plugged in and plugged up, ready to go. I have a couple patches I made where I've dialed in several different chorus effects so you can hear the difference. And let me say before we get started that the reason I love making these videos is because many of you may not have the HX Stomp yet, and you want to hear the sounds that it can produce. I know that before I owned the HX Stomp, I was looking for every video I could to hear exactly what it sounded like. So that's the first purpose of today's video. And the second reason is that many of you may already have a Stomp or one of the Helix products and you haven't included or introduced chorus into your sound yet. And so today I want to help you get there. I want to show you how I would dial in the chorus effect, how I would use it on a Sunday in my worship set. So let's don't delay anymore. Here is my clean tone. Now I'm using the Princess preset from my Expanse pack. Now if you don't know what my Expanse pack is, it's just a collection of presets that I use on Sunday mornings, and I keep adding to it all the time, hence the name Expanse. It's one of those things where you purchase it one time and you get updates for free for life, and I'm doing updates all the time. I'll have one coming out very soon, probably to include some of the sounds that we go through today. If you want to check that out, I'll link it down below, or it's on the website at heyworshipleader.com/store. Definitely go check that out. So as far as which chorus pedals I'm using today, the first one is we're going to be looking at the 70s chorus, the Trinity chorus, and the chorus that I've actually been using the past few Sundays, which is the Dimension chorus. I really like it because you can get several different sounds. We'll explore that. And then down here on this other patch, we have the regular chorus. I think I put the 70s chorus in there again just so I could hear the difference. And then there is the Plasti chorus. So let's go back up here. And the chorus that I've been using, the Dimension chorus, is set to a little more subtle than some of the other ones. So this is like the starting point. This is what I've actually been using, and it was enough chorus for what I needed. So clean tone. You can just hear that it adds a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of something else. It kind of widens your sound. What chorus does actually is it's made to make a single note sound like a chorus of sounds, and so hence the name chorus. It takes your signal and widens it a little bit and adds some modulation, and that's what makes different chorus pedals different, because there's different kinds of modulation, there's different rates and depths, and each different pedal has its own different flavor, and so that's why we're going to listen to them. Now the reason I like the Dimension is because it has kind of like 4 different sounds in one. I think this is based off the Boss, what was it called? The Boss DC? No, EC. Boss DC 2W. Yeah, based off this pedal, the Dimension C DC-2W, and this was based off an earlier Roland like rack mount chorus effect. What's cool about it is you can toggle on and off each of these 4 different sounds, which I'll let you hear really quick, and then you can also like compound them. And the one I've been using is this first one, which you just heard. Here's the second one. A little different. Has a little swirling effect to it. And the last one. That one is more extreme, has more depth to it and rate, I think. I've been actually bouncing back between the first one and the fourth one, but this past Sunday I went with the first one. It's a little more subtle. But you can also layer them on top of each other, so let's just do that. We don't have time to spend this much time on every effect, but let's just layer all these together and see what we get. Now I will say when you drag in this effect, it comes in with the mix at 100, and I think it sounds better with the mix down to 50. It actually makes it sound a little more full. Alright, next up we have the Trinity chorus, and there's a lot of different effects on here. This is how I dialed it in, and I think it sounds the most full. The most notable difference between this effect and some of the other ones is that you can control 3 things, hence Trinity. The left, center, and right depth. Also, you can boost, and so what I've done is I've brought the center down a little bit, and I also did not boost it. I got the left all the way up and the right about 75%, and I boosted both of those signals. I'm also in stereo, and I played with these LFO, manual, and preset. I'll toggle those on and off so you can hear them, but right now it sounds like this. Let's turn these off. That preset definitely added a swirlingness to it. It's like a slower swirl. And I like them both on. I really like the Trinity chorus. Out of all of them, it's the least subtle in my opinion, at least the way I have it dialed in, but I really like it. So if you're really wanting something that stands out, definitely check out the Trinity chorus. You can also move this rate up and down, but I feel like there's a sweet spot. Once you get the rate going up too high, it just becomes a little annoying to me. Here's the rate all the way down. All the way up. And as you can see here, you can also sync this up with the BPM. If you have delays, it'll sync up with it. All right, next up is the 70s chorus. This one kind of fits in between the Dimension and the Trinity chorus, in my opinion, at least the way I have it set up. Here's the sound. Now, I will say chorus is often partnered with vibrato. They're a very similar effect. I feel like vibrato is actually just a ramped up version of chorus. And on the 70s chorus, we actually have a toggle where we can toggle between the two. So let's hear chorus and vibrato. Which is a pretty cool sound. Now on this pedal you have a vibrato rate and a depth. I'll just show you the extremes of those real quick. This is with the rate all the way down. Let's bring the depth up quite a bit so you can hear it. This is rate down, depth up. This is the annoying sound I hate. Now, if I were to use vibrato, I would kind of dial it in like a really thick chorus where I bring the rate probably as far down as it can go and bring the depth up. Or, just like I talked about before, you can sync it up with like your delay time. You can also mess around with the mix. I've been leaving them all at 50. This has a true and classic stereo sound. I think classic was more centered and true has more width to it. And then I always bump up the headroom because I don't like any distortion or grit on the effect itself. So I like bumping up the headroom, but that's something to play with in case you don't like that sound. And the reason I like more headroom is because chorus really works well, in my opinion, which none of this is right or wrong, but this is my opinion, on really clean tones. And so I like the chorus effect itself to be really clean because I'm usually trying to add a sparkle or something that has that high-end clarity to stand out in a mix. So I bumped the headroom up. All right, let's come down to the second preset here, and this one is the original chorus. And I like this one because we can do a lot of different things. This is what it sounds like. What's really cool about this one is the fact that you can change the wave shape. I have it on triangle because that's what it's on when you drag and drop it in. But another one I like is sine and inverse sine. They're very similar, just backwards from each other, but this is what that sounds like. Kind of has a pulsing, and it kind of has like this aged effect that I really enjoy. Random here is pretty cool. I'll increase the speed so you can kind of hear it, but it just cycles it through. And I can see how there might be certain situations where you would want this sound, so check it out. You also have tone and spread. If you bring the tone all the way down, it gets a little more muffled. Let's do one of these. I like it in the middle, but if you wanted to stand out a little bit more, add a little more top end, you can mess with the tone. The spread just spreads the depth of the stereo. Like with all chorus, I like my speed lower and my depth higher rather than the other way around. We've already messed with the 70s chorus, and let's do the Plasti chorus. It sounds like this. Pretty straightforward, but it has a lot more high end when you compare it to the 70s chorus, I think. It's just a little more aggressive. So yeah, those are the chorus effects. There's more in here you can go explore, but hopefully you benefited from seeing how I've dialed these in. This is the patch that I used on Sunday, and it's for King of Kings. I have some delay and stuff dialed in, and you can see how I would have used this in a live setting. So I really love the chorus effect. Do you? I would love to hear from you guys if you do. Let me know down in the comments if you currently use chorus, or if you don't, and after hearing this you think you want to give it a try, or this is just not your taste at all. Let me know. And while you're down there, please hit the like button if you did like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I got some really cool stuff coming up in the future I don't want you to miss out on. And you can also hit the bell and set your notification settings so you don't miss out on anything new. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Here we go.